Okay, so this will be a short tutorial video showing you how to take a handwritten assignment, whether that's something you did on paper on your own or a worksheet, and turn it into a PDF file and upload it to your Google Drive so that it's accessible to turn into your Edgenuity teacher. Or really, it could go anywhere from your Google Drive. So to do this, you're going to need two apps. First, the Notes app that comes pre-installed on your phone, Apple iPhone or iPad. And second, you're going to need your Google Drive app. You want to make sure you're signed in with your school account. And also, if you haven't already, you should watch the video that makes sure your folders where you'll store your Edgenuity work are accessible by your teacher, making sure that your share options are set correctly so that your teacher can actually see the material once you upload it through the website. So once that's done, you're going to go ahead and find the material that you want to upload. So I have a document here that I'm going to use as a test. So I'm going to open the Notes folder or app. And what I like to do is actually create a folder for what this would be. So I would call it, in our case, Edgenuity. And then I'll go in the Edgenuity folder. That way anything that I upload this way will be easy to identify. So once I'm in the Edgenuity folder, on the bottom right, you'll see this compose button, the square with the pen. I'm going to click on that. And what's a neat feature in this Notes app is you can actually use the camera right in the middle. And if I click the camera, it'll give me some options. And what I want to choose is the top option, Scan Documents. And if I click that, it'll use my camera, and rather than taking a picture of this paper, it's going to actually turn it into a PDF. So a lot of times it'll crop it for you. I got a little bit of a glare on my table here, so it wasn't perfect. So I'm just going to drag the corners and get them pretty close. I got my finger in there, but that's okay. It's not covering any of the work. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to click keep scan. If it wasn't good, maybe it was blurry, I might retake the picture there on the left, but I'm going to keep the scan. Now, if it's a one-page document, you could hit save. If you have more than one page, then you're going to want to, before you hit save, it says ready for the next scan, you're going to go ahead and take your next scan. So hold it up. I'm just going to use the same paper. And again, it didn't crop it for me perfectly, so I'll just fix it. Only takes a second. And keep the scan. And now you can see on the bottom corner it says save to. That means it's 2 pages. If you have more than 2 pages, you just keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and save those documents. And you can see now it has both of these documents up here. It's giving me an option to write a note. I don't really need a note in this case, so I'm just going to hit done. And now I can see I have 2 pages of handwritten work saved as PDFs. So once I've reached this place, I'm going to go ahead and hit the share button up in the top right corner with the arrow. And I'm going to click Google Drive. Okay, from here, you need to make sure if you're logged in with a personal account that you're choosing your school account, because that's where your schoolwork is going to be uploaded from. Once the correct account's chosen, you can see it actually, from the picture, gave it a name. It's a spelling test number. It didn't recognize the number 1 I had there, but that's pretty good that it'll actually name it for you based on the title. So if it's like a typed font on a worksheet, it'll actually name it for you, which is pretty nice. And so then you want to make sure that I'm in the right account and I want to choose the right folder. So I'm going to select folder. I'm going to go to My Drive. And if you followed our other advice on our previous video, you would have created an Edgenuity folder. And inside that folder, you hopefully have created a folder for each subject. This was a spelling test, so it's probably going to go in language arts. So I'd pick language arts. And then once it's I've navigated to the right folder, in the bottom right corner it says save here. I'm going to hit save here. So you can see on the bottom here it has my account, it has the folder, and now I'm going to hit upload. and it should be done. So I can exit out of this notes piece now, and it'll be saved in my Google Drive. So I can go into my Google Drive, make sure I'm in the right account. I was in my personal account when I opened Google Drive, so it'll make sure I go to the right account. And now I'm going to click on Edgenuity. Language Arts. And I can verify there's the spelling test. So from there, I can go on my laptop or my Chromebook and upload it like you would any of the other files you would upload to Edgenuity from your Google Drive. So I actually don't need this file 002.txt. That's the part where it gave me an option to write a text. I don't need that. So I'm going to push the three dots and click or scroll down here, and down here at the bottom, there's the trash can. I'm going to remove that. I don't need that. And spelling test number, it was spelling test number 1. When I took the picture, it didn't capture the number. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm actually going to rename it. And if I can get my cursor in there, I'm going to name it spelling test number 1.pdf. Maybe your teacher will ask you, or the instructions will ask you to name it something, but that'll be good enough for our example. Hit rename, and you're good to go. So from there, you should be able to open up your Edgenuity account, and when it asks you for a submission, you can navigate to your Google Drive, and it'll be there ready to share.